Even though marketers don't like NFTs, they already know that they're going to need to figure out how influencer marketing is going to work in Web3. This year, I flew out to LA to speak at VidCon on influencer marketing, NFTs, and the metaverse. And in case you couldn't join, here's what you need to know, what I learned, and what I want to learn more about going forward. Web3 is generally defined as the next iteration of the internet, and that iteration includes the incorporation of blockchain technology. What blockchain does is it decentralizes information, assets, and data on said internet. Now, there is no set definition to Web3, and some people just say it's a buzzword and it's not a real thing yet. For the purposes of this video and what we were talking about at VidCon, influencer marketing in Web3 generally relates to NFTs and the metaverse. So overall, there were roughly 4 models of how influencer marketing is already working in Web3, and that is brand creator NFT collaborations, NFTs as memberships, metaverse events, and for NFTs as products. First, we'll talk about NFT brand collaborations. Now, given the recent onslaught of crypto scams when it comes to coins and tokens, it isn't likely that we're going to see brands partnering with creators to release anything like that anytime soon. So instead, what brands are doing is looking to partner with creators to launch NFT collections on established platforms. So this is a pretty standard collaboration setup. The brand and the influencer get together and decide what the collection is going to look like. The influencer acts as kind of the chief marketing officer for this product to help get it out into the world and to the intended audience. One example of this would be the Paris Hilton Gucci collaboration. Hey, this is editing, Laura Lee here, and I was completely delirious at this point and completely messed up that example. The collaboration was not between Gucci and Paris Hilton, but between Super Plastic and Gucci. And now Super Plastic also did a collaboration with Paris Hilton. That's what I was trying to say. It did not come out that way at all. So Super Plastic is a global entertainment brand that manages digital animated celebrities. When Super Plastic collaborated with Paris Hilton, they did a number of collections, one of which was a one-of-one called Truth is Freedom, which included a $11,000 shopping spree and lunch with Paris Hilton. That particular NFT sold for 68 ETH. Okay, the next category we have is NFTs as memberships. So in this setup, brands grant exclusive access to products, events, services, benefits, perks, discounts, those sort of things, to holders of a specific NFT. That membership often includes an influencer or celebrity that kind of helps shape that membership community. The difference here is because memberships with NFTs are lifetime, even if the influencer leaves the partnership, the community and all of the benefits live on. So that changes the dynamic a little bit between the influencer and the brand, and it will be interesting to see how that plays out. An example of an NFT as a membership, this is a pretty big one, but Bored Ape Yacht Club. If you own a Bored Ape NFT, you get access to this exclusive community, and Bored Ape has several celebrity holders, including Madonna, Justin Bieber, Jimmy Fallon, and Tom Brady. Moving on, we are also seeing brands take events into the metaverse in Web3. And we're seeing this with kind of varying degrees of success. Not every metaverse event has been a winner. But overall, these events have the advantage of being highly scalable, highly accessible, and sometimes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We've seen concerts in the metaverse already. We have Foo Fighters, Ariana Grande, and Travis Scott, just to name a few. They've all performed in immersive venues and to a potentially unlimited audience, which they definitely can't do in a physical space or in an arena. The example of NFT memberships that I spoke about at VidCon was Alo Yoga. Alo had an activation in Roblox where they had an entire Alo branded island where people could go and do wellness activities like sound baths and meditation and yoga. And I think it was pretty successful for them, and it did have a retail component, but it was a very small part of the event. And I think they did this to get people used to the idea that instead of going onto your computer or onto your phone to buy something that's going to arrive in the mail, you could potentially be putting on a VR headset and buying something in virtual reality that will later show up at your door, which is very cool. That was definitely a scene in Ready Player One. But I think these events are only going to become more common and feature more and more influencers, creators, and celebrities. Also, I don't usually sound like this. I have been talking non-stop for like 3 days and my voice can't take it. So finally, we have NFTs as a product line. As brands get more familiar with NFTs and like start experimenting a bit, they are learning that NFTs are not an advertising vehicle or a marketing tool. You really have to think of them as their own class of product, even though they're digital. So in Web 2, if you have this new product and you want to get it out in the world, you might send a couple samples out to influencers and hope that they post them on Instagram or feature them on TikTok or YouTube. In the case of luxury brands, they will loan out pieces to influencers for certain events and hope that they get photographed in them. But with Web 3, you can't really loan out an NFT because everyone's wallets and wallet addresses are transparent. Like you can go see what NFTs I have in my wallet at lauralee.eth anytime. So if you were to loan out an NFT to an influencer, people would be able to see right away that that influencer doesn't actually own that NFT. They just held it for a short period of time. That's not going to make people want to also buy an NFT or join a particular community. So even if brands don't necessarily collaborate with an influencer to create an NFT collection, they're still going to have to figure out how to get NFTs into the wallets of particular influencers to help kind of, you know, build a campaign around that. And not only just getting NFTs into the right wallets, but making sure they stay there. Because if you get randomly airdropped an NFT, like you don't have to keep it. You can sell it and get rid of it or transfer it to someone else. So that will be a key component to Web3 marketing as well. And I don't like have a good solid answer for how that's gonna play out, but it'll be an interesting one. Okay, my camera's flashing at me that it's overheating. So there's still a lot of unknowns here, but the thing I want to learn more about is how we are going to track KPIs for influencer marketing in Web3. I'm sure there are people out there that have ideas already, but we didn't really hear too much about that at VidCon, so that will be something I'm definitely going to be looking into more. If it's something you have ideas about, like definitely let me know in the comments down below. And then finally, you know, like the market is crazy right now. It's not looking good. The world's on fire. But if you have a Web3 company or you're thinking of starting one, don't let the current bear market necessarily deter you. There was a saying, and like Jade said this at the panel, bear market builders win in the bull run. And if we look back to Web 2, a lot of the OG influencers, you know, Instagrammers, YouTubers, bloggers, we didn't even have TikTok back then. I was gonna say TikTok, but it didn't exist. A lot of those OG influencers that, you know, are still around today, they started in 2008 during the last recession. And that was back when Web 2 was super young, barely existent, and no one was making any money. Things weren't monetized yet, and they've all done really well for themselves. Well, not all of them have done really well for themselves, but I'd say like a relatively high ratio have done well for themselves, starting in the midst of a recession and then building from there. So if you want to learn more about NFTs, be sure to check out this video right here.